have to reach the Empress before Corypheus. The only question is, how?
We know how. I have our way in. The real question is, where is our enemy hiding? At the urging of Grand Duchess Florianne, the Empress is holding a ball. Absolutely everyone will be there. During the festivities, Céline will be meeting for peace talks with usurper Duke Gaspard and Ambassador Briala.
The assassin must be hiding within one of these factions.
We shouldn't waste any time. Let's go to the Winter Palace.
The political situation in Halam Shiral hangs by a thread. The Empress fears our presence could sever it. The Grand Duke is only too happy to have us at the ball as his guests, so our invitation comes from him. Whether we act as his allies or upset the balance of power, he gains an opportunity, if not a clear advantage.
Inquisitor Trevelyan, it is an honor to meet you at last. Bringing the rebel mages into the ranks of your army was a brilliant move. Imagine what the Inquisition could accomplish with the full support of the rightful Emperor of Orlais.
I can see many benefits to such an alliance.
Keep the image firmly in mind. We may see it materialize by the end of the evening. I am not a man who forgets his friends, Inquisitor. You help me, I'll help you. Prepared to shock the Assembly by appearing as the guest of a hateful usurper, my lord? They will be telling stories of this into the next age.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Duke Gaspard. I look forward to ending this civil war.
As do I, my friend. The Empire needs stability and security, now more than ever. If you have the safety of the Orlesian people at heart, Inquisitor, perhaps you will look into something for me. This elven woman, Briala, I suspect that she intends to disrupt the negotiations. My people have found these ambassadors all over the fortifications. Sabotage seems the least of their crimes.
That sounds like something I should look into.
Be as discreet as possible. I detest the game, but if we do not play it well, our enemies will make us look like villains. We're keeping the court waiting, Inquisitor. Shall we?
Is that the Inquisitor?
The Mage? No, there must be some mistake.
From the Circle of Ostwick, so they say.
Pardon me, my lord. You haven't seen a ring lying around, have you? It was a gift from the Comtesse Montbéliard, enchanted by the Fomari. I cannot go into the ball without it.
That's a terrible predicament.
If the Comtesse finds out, make her have mercy. Should you happen upon it, I beg you, let me know. Where could it be? going to do if I cannot find my ring?
Is this the ring you were looking for?
You are a treasure! I cannot believe you found it! You have saved me a lifetime of mortification. How can I thank you enough?
Can Gaspar take the throne without the backing of the Council of Heralds? He plans to take it by force. It's been too long since I've had any word from Valois.
Are all the Delancey's here?
Maker, I hope not.
Inquisitor, a moment, if you please. I must warn you before you go inside. How you speak to the court is a matter of life and death. It is no simple matter of etiquette and protocol. Every word, every gesture is measured and evaluated for weakness.
I'll keep my guard up, don't worry.
The game is like wicked grace played to the death. You must never reveal your cards. When you meet the Empress, the eyes of the entire court will be upon you. You are safer staring down Corypheus.
Might be a good idea for the others to hear this warning. The bull in particular.
I'll have a few discreet words. Everything will be fine. And Raste watch over us all.
Is that the Inquisitor?
A martyr? The Maker has an odd sense of
And now presenting Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalon, and accompanying him, Lord Inquisitor Trevelyan of the Ostwick Circle of Magi. vanquisher of the rebel mages of Ferelden, crusher of the vile apostates of the Mage Underground, champion of the blessed Andraste herself.
Did you see their faces? Priceless.
Accompanying the Inquisitor, Seeker, Cassandra, Allegra, Portia, Calogera, Philomena.
Get on with it.
Pantagast, 14th cousin to the King of Navarra, 9 times removed, hero of Orlais, right hand of...
Cousin, my dear sister.
Grand Duke, we are always honored when your presence graces our court.
Don't waste my time with pleasantries, Celine. We have business to conclude.
We will meet for the negotiations after we have seen to our other guests.
Inquisitor?
Lord Inquisitor, we welcome you to the Winter Palace. Allow us to present our cousin, the Grand Duchess of Leeds, without whom this gathering would never have been possible.
What an unexpected pleasure. I was not aware the Inquisition would be part of our festivities. We will certainly speak later, Inquisitor.
Your arrival at court is like a cool wind on a summer's day.
I'm delighted to be here, Your Majesty.
We have heard much of your exploits, Inquisitor. They have made grand tales for long evenings. How do you find Halam Shiral?
I've never seen anything to equal the Winter Palace.
We hope you will find time to take in some of its beauties. Feel free to enjoy the pleasures of the ballroom, Inquisitor. We look forward to watching you dance.
Inquisitor, a word when you have a moment.
Tell me, Yvette, how are Mama and Papa? Are they in good health? Want for anything?
Papa's perfectly happy in the studio. Can you believe the Inquisition fill its ranks with apostates?
I had hoped to tour the Royal Wing Gardens again.
I have heard they are the finest in the Empire. It's such a pity that we must see.
Duke Gratien of Arlezan.
Good. I was hoping I would catch you. What did the Duke say?
He points the finger at Ambassador Briala.
The ambassador is up to something, but she can't be our focus. The best place to strike at Celine is from her side. Empress Celine is fascinated by mysticism, foreseeing the future, speaking with the dead, that sort of rubbish. She has an occult advisor, an apostate who charmed the Empress and key members of the court as if by magic. I've had dealings with her in the past. She is ruthless and capable of anything.
That sounds exactly like the person we're looking for.
She's worth investigating. Can't be sure of anything here. Both leads point toward the guest wing. It's a promising place to start. I'll coordinate with our spies to see if I can find anything better. I will be in the ballroom if you need me.
Laurent was the... Perhaps we can speak later, Inquisitor.
Look at Lady Cambion's slippers. Trimmed with pearls. And emeralds. And those buckles. Toss her into the lake and she'll sink right to the bottom. What a disaster.
I should go. Be on your guard.
I always am.
I still remember the day they came to tell me that my
This ball is a waste of time, like all Orlesian foolishness. Let's find the Venatori collaborator and get out of here.
Have you witnessed anything noteworthy?
Nothing yet. I will let you know.
Stay alert. We don't know where the enemy is hiding.
I'll be watching for trouble. The sooner we leave this place, the better.
Sire Honorine Chastain, Chevalier of the Empire, Champion of the Grand Tourney of Tantervale, bearer of the Viridian Signet of
How could the Empress afford to renovate the palace without war?
Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
Are you happy to see me at all, Josephine? Oh, Josephine, is this him?
Inquisitor, please allow me to present to you my younger sister, Yvette Gabriella Montillier.
Delighted to meet you, Lady Montillier.
Inquisitor, I've heard so much about you, but not as much as I want. Josephine writes, but she never tells me anything. Is it true? Rebel mages in Redcliffe were performing blood rites and orgies before you stopped them.
Where did you hear such nonsense?
Everyone in Antiva says so. Is it true?
Those stories a little more than wistful thinking, my lady.
Oh, how dull Redcliffe must have been then.
I'll see you later.
Another time.
Have you heard from your nephew?
Not since his regiment joined the fighting.
Is that him? Can I get you a drink, Commander Cullen?
No, thank you.
I heard Celine was having the entire
Inquisitor,
wing
did you need something? The sooner we track down this infiltrator, the better.
Why would she do such a thing now?
Do you have any advice?
Orlesian social events don't fall within my area of expertise. There are a few here we can trust. Be careful.
We'll talk later.
I await your signal.
rien soit.
Does anyone really think the war will end tonight? The Empress does.
Leave us.
We are not serving drinks. Order someone else.
Any word from our contacts in the Royal Wing?
Maker, that wine stain is never coming out.
Boring.
Gaspard.
Interesting. Just gossip.
Philippe should have returned hours ago, dallying with some serving girl while I deal with Gaspard's vitriol.
I can't imagine Gaspard being vitriolic. What's the matter?
The Grand Duke bears a grudge against the Council for refusing him the crown. He's threatened death if they refuse him again, collectively and individually, along with their vassals. What backwater did you come from? Everyone knows that.
There must be something here.
Did you hear what Gaspard said to Duke Germain? His own uncle.
Germain bore his nephew's spite better than the rest of the council. Did you see that panicked attaché roaming about?
This way is closed. Please, use the main entrance to the ballroom.
My lord! My lord Inquisitor!
May we have a word? It is very important.
The Empress has sent us with a message for you.
What's the message?
This is so exciting!
Empress Celine is eager to assist the Herald of Andraste in his holy endeavor.
She will pledge her full support to the Inquisition as soon as the usurper Gaspard is defeated.
It's a generous offer.
The Empress believes wholeheartedly that the Inquisition is our best hope for peace in these difficult times.
She looks forward to cementing a formal alliance.
As soon as Gaspard is out of the way.
But we have taken enough of your time.
Please, enjoy the masquerade, Inquisitor.
I need to get back before I'm missed.
That wasn't Rusty's herald?
He must have other endowments to make up for being such a dullard.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the Consular.
I heard. Did you hear what Gaspard said to Germain? His own uncle.
Germain bore his nephew's spite better than the rest of the council. Did you see that panicked attack?
Well, well. What's this?
Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the Consular.
Interesting.
The package is in the guest wing. Upper room.
The one off the garden. Statuette.
I heard the Inquisition was here.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the Council of Heralds now.
He should have considered that before threatening to burn them all in their homes.
Interesting.
You must be mistaken.
No, I'm quite certain it was blood on the tiles.
If they're playing the game, they're not doing it very well. You don't leave evidence if you play to win.
With Gaspard and that...
I'd better get back to the party.
Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
Faces talk even when they aren't moving. Silk on satin on skin, always wanting, chaste but chaste, too many.
Stay out of trouble, Cole.
Socks get wet when the tide rises. They won't miss just a few.
Have you observed anything happening yet?
Leliana has many faces. When she puts on a new one, she changes all the way down.
What are you doing, Cole?
A fallen fan can cut like a kiss. Hot breath from the wrong boy on the naked nape of the neck. I helped until they made me stop. Now they've all forgotten.
Are you all right, Cole? You seem distracted. More than usual.
They have faces inside their faces, lying with a layer that tells the truth. I don't know how to help them.
Stay out of trouble, Cole.
Socks get wet when the tide rises.
Celine prevails tonight, Gaspard will ruin us all.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the Council of...
You don't want to be here, stranger.
He hasn't made the pickup. It's been hours.
You went into the servants' wing. Nobody's come out of there all night.
I'll tell Briala we have a situation.
Good evening, Inquisitor.
Inquisitor, are you enjoying the ball? This is your first presentation at court, is it not? I am Lady Marcelette, court historian to Her Imperial Majesty.
Are you here to chronicle the events of the evening for posterity?
Oh, yes. This is a momentous occasion. The first meeting between the Grand Duke and Her Majesty since the war began. Even if, Maker forbid, the talks should fail, it is an important moment in the history of the Empire.
What exactly does a court historian do?
I am responsible for the historical records of the court. I maintain our library and record all official proceedings.
Good evening, Lady Marcelette.
Another time, perhaps.
Just gossip. Well, that's useful.
Where has that servant gone? Elves, always shirking their duties. Nightingale makes me nervous.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the Council of Heralds now.
Should have considered that before threatening to burn them all in their homes.
Get these pastries out to the diplomats.
The Duchess has...
My dear Maximilian, it took 4 chevaliers to hunt down the bear that killed him.
Ugh. So many crimes of fashion.
I found this out. I'm not sure of its value.
Very interesting. It may not help our investigation, but we can put it to use. A little more dirt like this, and we might have some leverage in the court. If you find more, let me know.
I should go. Be on your guard.
I always am.
Are all the Delancers here?
Maker, I hope not. It's been too long. since I've had any word from Valois.
I've an idea, Josephine. You should invite all the family to Skywood for the summer.
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valois.
I had no idea. Boring.
Are we ready to move out?
Have you witnessed anything noteworthy?
Nothing yet. I will let you know.
You don't seem to care much for the ball.
Orlesians pretend their petty squabbles are a game. Yes, let us treat murder, corruption, and deceit as delightful amusements. How wonderful. We are here to save Empress Celine, and it galls me. Why does she merit our protection? The Empire would be better off without her. Gaspard is the leader Orlais needs in this crisis.
You support the civil war?
Of course not. Chaos is what Corypheus wants, and we must oppose him. Were it up to me, however, I would let Celine fall and Gaspard take the throne. He would see the true threat, not spend his time throwing balls and writing letters.
Stay alert. We don't know where the enemy is hiding.
I'll be watching for trouble. The sooner we leave this place, the better.
the bell. I should get back to the ballroom.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the Council of Heralds now. He should...
Boring.
Well, well, the Inquisitor. Here as a guest of my nephew, no less. How curious.
I didn't know the Grand Duke was your nephew.
He's my brother's eldest boy. Always a difficult child, Gaspard. Never listened, never did what he was told. He was raised a prince. All his life we told him he would be emperor. It was his destiny, his duty. What else should he do with his life if not fight for his destiny?
Have you noticed anything strange this evening?
My niece Florianne hasn't spoken to me all evening. That's not like her.
What can you tell me about the Civil War?
If you are hoping for insight, you've come to the wrong man. It's war. It is brutal, and terrible, and sometimes necessary. There's nothing more to say.
Another time, my lord. Good to know.
Leave us.
Well, well. What have we here? The leader of the new Inquisition, fabled herald of the faith. Delivered from the grasp of the Fade by the hand of blessed Andraste herself. What could bring such an exalted creature here to the Imperial Court, I wonder? Do even you know?
I'm here on important business concerning the entire Empire.
As am I, it seems. I am Morrigan. Some call me advisor to Empress Celine on matters of the arcane. You have been very busy this evening, hunting in every dark corner of the palace. Perhaps you and I hunt the same prey.
I hope so. I could use another ally here.
A sentiment I share, considering recent events.
Recent events?
Recently I found and killed an unwelcome guest within these very halls. An agent of Tevinter. So I offer you this, Inquisitor. A key found on the Tevinter's body. Where it leads, I cannot say. Yet, if Celine is in danger, I cannot leave her side long enough to search. You can.
You left Celine alone. Is that wise?
I must return to her anon, but she is safe enough, for the moment. 'Twould be a great fool who strikes at her in public in front of all her court and the Imperial Guard.
What's your interest in protecting Empress Celine? Are you her bodyguard?
Do I seem a bodyguard to you? If anything were to happen to Celine, eyes would turn first to her occult advisor, even if they knew otherwise. There are sharks in the water, and I will not fall prey to them. Not now, not ever.
Why did you kill the agent? He might have had useful information.
I would not have slain the man on sight had he not attacked me first. Why? Undoubtedly, I caught him in an illicit act. I did not know from whence he came until after the battle, and regret only that I could not capture him alive. What intentions the Imperium has here, I suspect you know far better than I.
I may find the time to try a door or two.
Proceed with caution, Inquisitor. Enemies abound, and not all of them aligned with Tevinter. What comes next will be most exciting.
I'm so glad Maman did not want to attend. She always ruins everything.
Not as much as you do.
Lady Solange Lévesque, Marquise of Montvert, Ambassador to the Court of Navarra. Accompanying the Ambassador, her daughter, Lady Madeline, renowned poet and author.
If the Inquisitor is here with Gaspard, does that mean that Andraste wants him to be Emperor?
Oh, sweet Gérard. My fifth husband fell to his death from the bell tower of the Grand Cathedral. He's dead.
Ugh.
No one knows.
So many crimes of fashion.
I found this out. I'm not sure of its value.
Excellent.
Galida Tsurisiava.
You were acquainted with my darling Hervé, weren't you? Another time, perhaps?
Prince Ezio Valisti of the House of Valisti in Antiva.
I don't think the talks are going well.
Empress will get us through this. Don't you worry.
Worth checking out.
Breath pain. Stabbing, and then real stabbing. Lungs full, frothing, scent of apples as it all goes. back.
Must be the elves Briala's people are looking for. This was no servant. What was he doing here?
He doesn't belong. Even if he weren't dead, he would be wrong.
The crest of the Chalon family. Duke Gaspard will answer for this.
Time to have a word with the Duke.
No! No!
Venatori agents! That must be the Venatori leader.
Dead!
The Venatori were watching this approach. They're organized.
Fancy meeting you here. Inquisitor Trevelyan. What a surprise. My report said you were terribly boring. We haven't been properly introduced, have we? I'm Ambassador Briala.
I'm glad to meet you finally, Ambassador.
Your reputation for getting results is well deserved. You cleaned this place out. Will take a month to get all the Tevinter blood off the marble. I came down to save or avenge my missing people. But you've beaten me to it. So, the Council of Herald's emissary in the courtyard. That's not your work, is it?
Gaspard killed him, I think. The knife has a Chalon crest on the hilt.
I knew it. I knew he was smuggling his chevaliers. But killing a council emissary? Bringing Tevinter assassins into the palace? Those are desperate acts. Gaspard must be planning to strike tonight.
The Empress needs to know what's going on.
You can try to warn her. She won't believe anything from me. I misjudged you, Inquisitor. You might just be an ally worth having. What could you do with an army of elven spies at your disposal? You should think about it.
What do I have to give you in exchange for this army of spies?
A moment of consideration. I know which way the wind is blowing. I'd bet coin that you'll be part of the peace talks before the night is over. And if you happen to lean a little bit our way, it could prove advantageous to us both. Just a thought.
More politics and double-dealing. Is there anyone here who is not corrupt?
We are in your debt, Inquisitor. We are in your debt, Inquisitor.
Interesting.
Did you see that knife-eared servant girl in the kitchen? The ginger.
Keep talking. I am starting to believe I was there.
I need to get one of those.
Don't we all?
Inquisitor Trevelyan. We met briefly. I am Grand Duchess Florianne de Chalon. Welcome to my party.
Is there something I can do for you, Your Grace?
Indeed you can. I believe tonight you and I are both concerned by the actions of a certain person. Come, dance with me. Spies will not hear us on the dance floor.
Very well. Shall we dance, Your Grace?
I'd be delighted. You are from the Free Marches, are you not? How much do you know about our little war?
What do you think I ought to know?
My brother and my dear cousin have been at each other's throats for too long.
It took great effort to arrange tonight's negotiations. Yet one party would use this occasion for blackest treason. The security of the Empire is at stake. Neither one of us wishes to see it fall.
I think I can agree with that, yes.
Then you have lifted a terrible burden from my heart, Inquisitor. The world is filled with doubt and uncertainty. Fear rules more hearts than any empire. I know you arrived here as a guest of my brother Gaspard, and have been everywhere in the palace. You are a curiosity to many, Inquisitor, and a matter of concern to some.
There's no need for concern. I've come here to help Orlais.
Helping Orlais has a variety of meanings depending on whom you ask. Kindness to some is cruelty to others. You cannot be a savior to them all. To some, you must be a monster. Do you even yet know who is friend and who is foe? Who in the court can be trusted?
I trust the Inquisition, Your Grace. Every man for himself in the Imperial Court, after all.
In the Winter Palace, everyone is alone. It cannot have escaped your notice that certain parties are engaged in dangerous machinations tonight.
I have seen a few signs to that effect.
You have little time. The attack will come soon. You must stop Gaspard before he strikes. In the Royal Wing Garden, you will find the captain of my brother's mercenaries. He knows all Gaspard's secrets. I'm sure you can persuade him to be forthcoming. May Andraste guide you, Inquisitor.
Maker's breath. You danced with the Grand Duchess and I didn't prepare you. Are you all right?
It was only a dance, Josephine.
Nothing is only anything. Not here. Were you dancing with Duchess Florianne?
More importantly, what happened in the servants' quarters? I heard there was fighting.
I hope you have good news. It appears the peace talks are crumbling.
The Grand Duchess suggested where to look for proof that Gaspard is conspiring with Tevinter.
She offered up her own brother? She's more cutthroat than I realized.
Then, the attack on the Empress will happen tonight.
Warning Celine is pointless. She needs these talks to succeed, and to flee would admit defeat. Then perhaps we should let her die.
I won't stand by and let her die.
Listen to me carefully, Inquisitor. What Corypheus wants is chaos. Even with Celine alive, that could still happen. To foil his plan, the Empire must remain strong. This evening, someone must emerge victorious.
And it doesn't need to be Celine. She's right.
Do you realize what you're suggesting, Leliana?
Sometimes the best path is not the easiest one.
You're asking me to decide what's best for Orlais.
More than that, whoever controls the Imperial throne will affect all of Thedas.
You cannot stop Corypheus without a decision. You must support someone, or all is lost.
Then we should support Celine. She is the rightful ruler. Why would we say otherwise?
Because she led Orlais to this point. I say Gaspard, provided his sister is wrong about him.
I would suggest Brialla. She could bring true peace, not only to the Empire, but also to its elves.
This is, however, your decision, Inquisitor, not ours.
I can't decide this. Not yet.
You must. Even inaction is a decision, Inquisitor.
You could speak to Celine in the ballroom, but she won't act. Not without proof.
If Gaspard is guilty, he'll admit nothing. If he's innocent, he knows nothing. We need the truth.
What did Duchess Florianne tell you?
She said Gaspard's mercenary captain is in the Royal Wing. That he knows about the assassination.
Which could be a trap.
Or a lead. Either way, you should search the private quarters in that wing for clues.
Then get me access. And in the meantime, get your soldiers into position.
At once. Be careful, Inquisitor.
Boring.
The reports from the Minrathous ambassador.
Interesting. Waste of time.
So, even Liliana thought this place was dangerous and you wanted to just walk in here. This party is looking up.
Stay back!
Oh, thank you.
Are you all right?
I don't think I'm hurt. No one's supposed to be here. Briala said... Oh, I shouldn't have trusted her.
All sorts of people tonight are taking advantage of this wing being closed.
Briala probably knew it was dangerous and sent me anyway. One more embarrassing secret erased. I knew her. Before. When she was Celine's pet. Now she wants to play revolution, but I remember. She was sleeping with the Empress who purged our alienage.
Something like that could destroy Briala, if it were known.
No. Some know she has a history with the Empress. But they believe she was just a favored servant. If the Inquisition will protect me, I'll tell you everything I know about our ambassador.
Go to the ballroom. Find Commander Cullen. He'll keep you safe.
Thank you. Make her protect you, Inquisitor.
Inquisitor, what a pleasure. I wasn't certain you'd attend. Look at you. No one could expect a common mage to grasp even the simplest intrigue. It was kind of you to walk into my trap so willingly. I was so tired of your meddling. Corypheus insisted that the Empress die tonight, and I would hate to disappoint him.
You don't have to go through with this, Florianne. There's still time to turn back.
Oh, my dear Inquisitor, you are so naive. In their darkest dreams, no one imagines I would assassinate Celine myself. All I need is to keep you out of the ballroom long enough to strike. A pity you'll miss the rest of the ball, Inquisitor. They'll be talking of it for years. Kill him and bring me his marked hand. It will make a fine gift for the Master.
Watch out!
Trust those tits. What was all that? Were those demons? There aren't any more of those blasted demons coming, right?
No more demons. It's safe.
Maker? I've never seen one that close before. I knew Gaspard was a bastard, but I didn't think he'd feed me to fucking horrors over a damn bill.
Tell me everything you know.
The Duke wanted to move on the palace tonight, but he didn't have enough fancy chevaliers. So he hired me and my men. He had to offer us triple our usual pay to come to Orlais. Stinking punsy cheesemongers.
Want a new job? One that pays better? The Inquisition can always use a good mercenary company.
You hiring? I'm game. Anything's better than this bullshit. You want me to talk to the Empress, or the court, or sing a blasted song in a chantry? I'll do it.
Get ready!
Better get back to the party.
only hope, Celine.
Thank the Maker you're back. The Empress will begin her speech soon. What should we do?
The Duchess will assassinate Celine personally. Wait for her to strike, then grab her.
As you command.
Let all gathered attend. Her Imperial Majesty will now address the court.
My friends, we have lost much. We have each seen a child, a lover, a friend consigned to the flames. The darkness has closed in around us, but even now there is light. We must be that light. We must lead our people safely through these troubled times. We must be their guiding star. Tonight, the war dividing us must end.
My friends, we are here to witness a historic moment. A great change is coming for all of us. Isn't that right, Gaspard?
Florianne! What have you done?
Don't be coy. It went just as we planned. I did this for you, brother.
Me? Have you gone mad?
No, not Gaspard. You did this for Corypheus.
What a terrible guest you are, interrupting your host. For Corypheus, kill them! I should thank you. You played your part marvelously. Both Celine and Gaspard destroyed in a single blow. The Council of Heralds will devour each other, and while they do, Corypheus will come. His army will march on Orlais straight from the depths of a nightmare, and all Thedas will fall.
What a pity you won't live to see any of it.
You don't think I came this far without an escape plan? Your death will be the crowning jewel of my victory tonight. So good of you to attend my soirée.
Find Florianne! Hurry! Where's the Duchess?
Wasting your time trying to stir the nobility against me. We are at war.
I hardly have to stir them at all. Your sister murdered Celine. Everyone saw it. You're a traitor by association.
What do you hope to gain, Rabbit? You can't claim Celine's empty throne for yourself.
Maybe not. But I can keep it from you.
With everything I've found on Gaspard, I'm sure Briala can effectively rule the Empire.
I doubt anything in the world, let alone inside the palace, could put the Rabbit in power.
We know about your threats to the Council of Heralds.
Politics, Inquisitor, is people issuing empty threats to one another. It means little.
Didn't one of the Council's emissaries turn up dead? Perhaps those threats weren't empty after all.
We have your Ferelden mercenaries standing by to testify that you were going to attempt a coup tonight.
The Council of Heralds would be most interested to hear that, don't you think, Your Grace?
You've made your point. What are your demands?
Don't worry, Your Majesty. You'll find you can endure them.
So what are your demands? You must have something planned.
The Elves of Orlais will make great gains under our new Emperor. Wait and see. I'm not about to forget your part in this. The Inquisition will have all the support I can raise. I promise. The Elves of Orlais have a future. For the first time in centuries. If only Celine, my people will find a way to repay you. I promise you.
You don't need to repay me.
I pay my debts, Inquisitor. But we're keeping our new Emperor waiting. Go give the nobility the good news.
Lords and ladies of the court, it is done. This was not the end any of us would have chosen. But the civil war is over. We stand here as proof of the Empire's fortitude. Our enemies must learn that Orlais shall not fall to treachery. We will never surrender our Empire. We shall teach them the finality of this truth with steel. With the Inquisition, we will drive the demons back into the Fade. The Maker himself could not protect them from the wrath of the Lion.
Together, we will assure a future of peace and security, not just for Orlais, but all Thedas.
Gather your soldiers, my friends. The Empire marches to war.
Here, at last, I find our absent hero. Hidden away, despite the efforts of all Orlais, to find you. The elves raise glasses in your honor while the newly crowned emperor glowers. 'Tis quite the spectacle.
Everyone suddenly wants to talk to me. You, at least, I'm glad to see.
Then I have happy news, as you shall be seeing a great deal more of me. By imperial decree, I have been named liaison to the Inquisition. Gaspard wishes to offer any and all aid to the one who supported his ascent to the throne. So, here I am.
Welcome to the Inquisition, Morrigan.
A most gracious response. I shall meet you at Skyhold.
Is everything all right? You look troubled.
Things went according to plan for once. I couldn't be happier.
I would have preferred the Empress alive, but the Empire remains. That's something. Is there anything I can do? Can I get you anything? A drink, perhaps?
Would you care to dance with me, Lady Josephine?
I was hoping you'd ask, my lord.
The matter is urgent, Lady Josephine.
I am well aware of that, revered mother.
We will need them to return to Val Royeaux as soon as possible. There are ceremonies, ordinations. Maker's mercy.
That's quite impossible at the moment. However, I will see to this matter as soon as possible.
My Lord Inquisitor. Please, may I have a word with you?
How may I assist you, revered mother?
With the political turmoil put to rest, our minds turn to a single question. The next divine. We cannot answer it without the left and right hands of Divine Justinia V.
I have already told you, revered mother. Lady Leliana and Seeker Cassandra cannot be spared from their duties.
But surely with the support of the Empire, the Inquisition will not be harmed by the loss of just 2 souls.
Leliana and Cassandra would have to make that decision for themselves.
And they certainly will, at a later date. The Inquisitor has only just returned and has important business to attend to. You must excuse us, revered mother. Don't let them detract from your victory at Alam-Shiral. Now that the political situation has stabilized, we can devote more Inquisition resources to pursuing Corypheus. I would talk to Hawke soon.